When the lights go down, the real conversations begin. Welcome to Basic Black After Dark, hosted by Black Diamond, where truth, healing, and growth take center stage. This is the space where mental health, family, healing, and personal growth are talked about, honestly and without filters. Featuring intimate interviews with authors and thought leaders who aren't afraid to share their journey. Because every story told reminds someone watching, you are not alone. Basic Black After Dark, now streaming on the Crew platform. Tap in.
Hey, welcome to Basic Black After Dark, the space where stories are told with courage, truth is spoken with purpose, and conversations inspire transformation. I'm your host, Black Diamond, and tonight's episode brings together two powerful voices in the world of storytelling and inspiration. Joining us tonight is inspirational author Najid, we call her Dee Dee, Scott, author of Najida's story, The Love That Carries Me. I love that title. Her work is a heartfelt reflection on faith, resilience, and the enduring power of love to guide us through life's most challenging seasons. Also joining the conversation is award-winning author Hezekiah Morris. He's a dynamic storyteller whose works include The Louisiana Purchase, The Pastor's Son, ooh, The Player in Me, The Impossible Woman, The Player in Me Too, Remember Those Days, and Restoring Hezekiah, Me and Only Me. Explore personal growth, redemption, relationships, and the complexity of human journey. Tonight, we're diving into the power of storytelling, how our experiences shape us, how truth becomes testimony, and how sharing our stories can inspire healing and transformation of others. So, wherever you're tuning in from, settle in. Join us for another meaningful and inspiring conversation right here on Basic Black After Dark. But before we get started, I want to congratulate both of my guests for being nominated in separate categories for the Black Authors Association Black Authors Award. So congratulations, guys. I am so proud of you. Hey,
Hey, how are you?
how are you doing? I'm
I'm
fine. How are
good.
you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I'm
Oh, I
excited.
am so blessed. I'm excited to have you here, and I know that um, uh, Hezekiah should be joining us. He might be having some technical difficulties um,
Okay.
trying to get in, so I'm trying to send him back the link to get back in. So
Yes, ma'am.
just give me 1 minute, and I apologize to my audience for this. Just letting them know what where it was sent. But I'm so glad and so very proud of you about all the work
Oh,
that you're doing. You
thank
know,
you, Auntie. I
it's
call you
just been a
Auntie. You call
blessing
me
just
Didi.
to.
I call you Auntie.
Yes, that's my baby too. Look, you know how I am with everybody. That's my baby too.
Yes,
I'm just
ma'am.
so proud of you. I remember talking to you years ago, and you were saying, "No, I'm not going to be an author. I'm not going to be an author." You don't have one, but two, but you got three books out,
Three.
and they all should be nominated. To tell you the truth, what
Oh, thank
inspired
you.
what inspired you to begin writing and sharing your
Wow.
stories?
Well, I think I spoke to you when we did the For Your Eyes segment, the book that was on adoption, foster care, and aging out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first book. And basically, every time I would tell my story about being adopted, everyone would say, "You need to write a book," like you said. And I said,
Right.
"I'm not writing a book." Not writing a book. But in 2024, Latanya hit me up and was like, "We got a book we're putting together," and da da da. And I had just come off a small vacation, was feeling good. I was relaxed and everything. So she called me at a good time. The father knew when to catch me. Because I said, "Oh, okay, let's do that." All right, all right.
Yeah.
Then I got off the phone with her and said, "Father, what we doing?" Because we doing this. Because I'm not doing this by myself. What we doing? He said, "Oh, no, it's time for you to write." So I wanted to write in honor of my parents and my foster mother, who, got me first, and my parents who raised me. I wanted to tell the story the way that would honor them.
Wow. And I guarantee you that they are so honored and so blessed and
Oh,
proud of you.
I'm
I
so
know more
too.
than I
Thank
am,
you.
but I'm just oozing out with just being so proud. So, do you
Oh,
remember
thank
the moment?
you.
Do you remember the moment you realized your story needed to be told?
Every time I would tell it, it was just like somebody was like, "You need to tell it. You need to tell it." And I was like, I think what held me from doing it is because right now I'm currently in the process of getting a divorce, and when Tanya hit me up, I was in that process as well. So when the father said it was time because I didn't really have anything else to do. So it was like, okay, it's time to tell the story now. So other times were me taking care of my ex and everything like that, trying to be a wife. So now it was time to take care of me, he said. Father said, time to take care of you. So that's when I knew,
Right.
okay, it was really time to start sharing my story. And when I finished the
Wow.
For Your Eyes segment, we were all, breaking out to write our own story. So that began me writing mine.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you did. Your title, "The Love That Carries Me," is powerful. What does that
Thank
mean to
you.
you personally?
Oh my goodness. When I thought of the title, when I was praying on the title, I kept thinking about Michelle Obama's The Light That Carries Us or Carries Me. I think that's the title of her book. And
Mm-hmm.
that always blessed me just to hear it. And of course, she's our forever first lady, so that's just my take. And so hearing that title just always stuck with me. But then as I began to pray about it, I felt like the Lord was saying, well, your name means love. God is love. So automatically, the love that carries me became about. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what that
I
was
can
God
see
really.
that. I can see that all throughout you. You know, the love that you
Oh,
have.
thank you. I
Writing
tried.
can be deeply personal. Well, you didn't just try, you succeeded. You succeeded. You have 3 books out, and one of them is being nominated. And I
Yeah.
voted, so I'm encouraging everybody else to go and vote as well. Please,
Thank
please,
you.
please, for
Please,
both of
please
them.
vote.
Yes, please vote. So writing can be deeply personal. What was the writing process like for you?
Whew. Well, there were definitely some ups and down moments. Speaking about my adopted mom, she passed in '99. So when I got to that chapter, that was a little rough because I still miss her dearly. Then speaking about my adopted dad, when he passed in 2006, that was rough. And then having to speak about my foster mother who passed in 2025,
Mm-hmm.
2020, I'm sorry, 2021, 2021, she passed. And so all of those chapters, after I would do them, it took a toll for a little while. I had to kind of get it together because they were so emotional. I just missed them daily. I miss them daily, and I just wish they would be here to see all of that is being that's going on right now in my life. But yeah, it was a definitely interesting process, but it also was very therapeutic because I didn't know I didn't know I would feel the way I felt when I began to write about them until I did.
It can be very, very emotional. Was there a moment or a chapter that was especially difficult to write? And I know that you said that the process and everything was a little
Hmm.
emotional for you, but was there a chapter or some moment that you may have had that was especially difficult for you to write?
Give me 1 minute. I meant to bring this up when when I was thinking about it. Because it definitely was a chapter that was really kind of like rough. It was a rough chapter. And
So if it's too difficult for you, don't we don't have
no,
to
no,
go
no.
through that chapter.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's already out here in the street, so might as well share. Might as well. I believe I would say the chapter that let's say chapter two, I believe it is. No, chapter three, learning to find my way, and that spoke
Wow.
the first time about my mom. I'm in a I'm from New York, but we moved to Virginia. So the area that I'm in doesn't really have very much
Hey.
for the disabled. So I was offered to go to a vocational school, and my mom was in the nursing home at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and the air she breathed is what I wanted to breathe. I didn't want to do nothing without her. I didn't want to I didn't want to move until she said I could move. And so when I got offered to go, she immediately said, "You need to go." And in my spirit, I felt like she was not gonna make it. I was not gonna see her very much longer. And when I got there, probably about 2 months into me being there, I had a dream she had passed. And so it was
Oh,
like
I'm so
God was
sorry.
preparing me for it to happen. Now, mind you, it didn't happen for like 6 months later, but it was like God was preparing. But when I had the dream, it scared me so bad. I called her the next day and was like, "Are you okay? Everything all right?" And it just kind of it broke me. So that chapter was the chapter that started the emotional roller coaster ride. Yeah, learning to find my
It
way
can be.
because she
It
was my
can
everything. She
be
was my
really.
cheerleader. Yeah,
Yeah.
was my
Yeah. I
everything.
can just imagine. I can
Yeah.
just imagine. And I appreciate you giving me your perspective on what
Oh
may
yes,
have been
ma'am.
a little bit difficult. You touched on something important. So let's go a little deeper. Was there a moment that you wanted to quit?
Quit
Like you
writing.
felt like I just can't do this. Yeah.
Um, no, because why? Because Latanya and Savita would not let me. They was not having any of that. Quit what? No, and take a break, but no, we're not doing that. And then I just no, I don't think quitting was a an option. I just knew I needed to pull back. I actually intended for the book to come out last year, so it was a lot of me trying to pace myself. And Savita would encourage me to not rush the situation, let God, lead you on what you need to do, how you need to do it, when you need to do it. So I'm thankful for her. I am truly thankful for her and her guidance because there wasn't a moment of quitting because God and those two would not let me quit. So that was not even an option. But no, because I knew it needed to finally get out. When God said it was time, I didn't really have much of a choice. You don't understand that this is not my decision. This is God's decision. This is our book. This is me and the Father's book. This ain't my book. I'm just the vessel.
Well, we got Travita looking right now, and she's saying, "Of course
See?
not. You had to finish sharing your
Told you.
testimony. Thank you
I
for that."
told
And
you.
I'm so glad that you were there as her backbone to tell her
Oh
to
my
get it
goodness.
started. I think we have Hezekiah that's in the Queen, and he's trying to get on. I see him
Okay.
trying to get on, so we're hoping that we can get him in as soon as possible because I definitely have some questions for. Oh, you are okay. Good. I'm so glad that you finally made it, Mister. He's so daggone busy that I don't even know what to do with him anymore. I really don't. And I was just saying how proud I am of you being one of the nominees for the Black Authors Association Black Authors Awards.
Thank you,
It
thank
is
you,
just
thank
so nice to have you. And it's been a minute since I've seen and spoken to you. We've been texting and things,
you.
but it's good to see you, Mr. Busy Man. You're so
Yeah,
busy.
I'm
So
good. Stay good.
I asked Dee Dee earlier, and I'm going to ask you the same questions. What inspired you to begin writing and sharing your stories? You've written so many stories that I can't even keep up with you.
Oh man, I think it was about 10 years ago. I was actually incarcerated. I mean, I always read books, and I used to get a lot out of reading books. And I never thought about becoming. That was like the farthest thing from my mind. To me, I was still young. I'm trying to live my life. I didn't even want to slow down one bit. Think about writing a book, and I ended up incarcerated. So God set me down, and that's when I started writing. And then when I got out, I was like, "Hey, now I got to find somebody to publish it. Now I got to find somebody who's going to be interested in reading my story." So what I did, I got a day labor job. I was making $45 a day, and I paid to get my book published. I paid to get it copyrighted, and that was my first book. And I was sitting at home. I was like, "So why would I write a book and don't do nothing with it?" I already did the hard part. And I was at work, and I was like, "Man, I am so tired of coming out here working myself to death And I got this little book right here. And I just wanted a change in my life. I just got tired of hanging with the fellas every day, sitting up under the tree, drinking a beer and smoking cigarettes all day. And then that's the next thing you're
Yeah.
going to do for the rest of your life every day. I said, this ain't me. So I just woke up one morning and I was like, I'm going to New York because I got some cousins that live in Brooklyn. I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm going to see how far I can take this little book. Well, on my way there, I stopped in Philly. So I was living in Philadelphia. And this guy said, well, you thinking about publishing another book? I was like, nah, I ain't writing no more. And then I was like, you know what? I think I do got a novel story. So I started writing. And I said, well, I need some book signings. I got this book and I ain't doing nothing with it. So I called Howard University. I called Columbia University. They was like, yeah, come on up here. We'll do a book signing with you. And once I started doing the book signing, that's when the excitement started coming in. Because it's like, even if you don't sell one book, it's that you on that college campus and you're the main focus. You are the guy of the day. You know what I mean? And it made you feel so good
Yeah.
that you're actually
And
doing something positive instead of negative. You actually
so,
give it back to the community. And that
so
was one thing that
your
go ahead.
catalog of books is so extensive. What message connects to all of your work?
Um, Shoot, that's been expiring and how God can bring you out of certain situations. In all my books, I talk about God, even though they might be romance books or whatever. But I always talk about God and how He comes and saves us at a time where we don't think He's there. And just being
Right.
vigilant in what you do and just keep pushing. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. When I first started writing my book and I left home, everybody was like, "Oh, you're going to be a failure. You're not going to do it. You can't do it. You just want to be rich. You want to do this and you want to do that." Well, maybe so, but I did it. I didn't nobody tell me that I couldn't do it. And
I'm
still
so
to this
proud
day,
that you continue, that you
and
stayed
you
with
know
it. You
what?
got
And
some
I'm okay
fans
with that.
out there. You got some
Hmm.
fans out there. You got Travita saying that God will definitely do it. Our producers in the back saying, "Hey, easy," and Travita saying, "Right." So, so here we go. We hear so much in restoring Hezekiah, me and only me. What does restoration mean to you?
Man, just for me, it means restoring myself too before I started going that right way. You know what I'm saying? Before I started going the wrong way, before I started listening to what everybody was telling me, before I started doing all kind of crazy stuff, like started listening to that voice in my head, God saying, "Who are you?" And listening to my grandmother's voice before she passed away. She used to always tell me, "You got this. You're so smart. Why don't you do this?" And myself is restoring my spirit, restoring my respect, my relationship with God. Because when you get out there, we try to put God on the back burner, and we try to go through life on our own devices, trying to do it our way. But we always got to focus on the spiritual side of ourselves. But if we lose our spiritual, we have nothing. And when I mean restoring, I mean I was spiritually dead, but now I was awoke. And that's trying to be the best
So
person I could be. I'm not. Nobody's gonna be perfect, but just trying to do the next best right thing.
I want to get Dee Dee's perspective on her story. Your story reflects resilience. What helped you keep going during difficult times? Oh,
You
she
talking to
tapped
me or
out.
Didi?
Dee Dee, you still with us? Dee Dee, I think we may have lost it. Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Because I lost you on the screen. So I was asking you, your story reflects resilience. What helped you keep going during difficult times?
I mean, there were moments when I was told I wouldn't be anything, I wouldn't be able to do anything, but God got the final say so and all of that. So, and my parents are the ones that spoke over my life, everything that I am doing and can do. So it's God. I'm led by faith.
walks us into it. He walks us into it, and he's just never wrong. Can't go wrong with God. Hezekiah, the
Exactly.
player in me explores, amen. The player in me explores relationships. What did you want readers to learn from that?
Man, see, that's a funny concept right there. Because this character, he's going through a midlife crisis, and he's got a whole lot on his plate. He got these three women he's dealing with. One he is in love with, but he don't know how she feels about him. So he's just going along and he's playing a role, but he has a conscience too at the same time because he don't want to hurt neither one of our feelings. And that's some of the things that we go through in life. As a single man, you got all these options, all these choices, and you like,
So we're talking from personal experience. I'm gonna put you out there right about now because you done messed up now.
you it's personal experience.
Oh, see now he don't just have to play in me one; he got it in two as well. So Hezekiah,
And-
come on now. You know you're gonna get yourself into trouble for this one.
we get a conscience at the end of the day because we feel like, okay, we single, we just going along doing what men do, and you end up getting caught up. It never works. So what goes
So
around
you
comes
say that
around.
again. You should say that
Yeah,
again because we hopefully got some young men listening and letting them know that it don't work. You may
no, it
think that it is,
don't.
but it's not working. He's
It
telling you himself.
don't. It's
He's
like
the
it's like a full
player, I guess,
time
because he
job.
got book one and two.
It's like a full time job.
Hey, see, he's trying to tell you it's a lot of work. But you know what? I'm not going to say that it's just the men. The women do it too. Women try and they get
Definitely.
caught up in it, thinking that they can do it too.
Definitely.
So it's not
Hmm.
just on you. But I'm not saying it from experience. I'm just saying that,
Oh yeah.
that the women do it. Too. Not all women. So I'm going to help you out there. Not all women and
Yeah,
not all
not
men.
all. Not
And,
all.
and,
But there's
and
some
you know
that
what's so,
truth
you
that
know
do it
what's so
as well.
fun about these books though? You get to use your alter ego and all these characters that's in your head and all the when people say, "Oh, you crazy," but you get to put all that craziness in the books, and it takes you to another place. And the funniest thing, I never really read my book after I publish it,
Oh my! I thought
but
I was
every
the
now
only. I
and
thought I was
then
the only one that did that.
because I'm
I
like,
don't either.
because it's like that's a writer doing did so. But you know what's so funny? I would go back and I'd be like, let me see what this book about that I wrote. And I would read it and I'd be like, boy, you something else.
Didi, you made a comment just now. Do you go back? Didi made a
No,
comment. Do you go back and read your books?
I've tried to do that, and I just can't seem to. No, I can't seem to really do it. I think I did a chapter, but no, I really can't. I can't. I just let it be out there the way God wants it to be out there. So
and,
So
no,
and
I haven't
Hezekiah,
read
Patrice
I
is
was
anything like
saying
doing
that
that.
you
this
know
the
that
other
book is a
day.
trip.
I was doing
Patrice
this
is
the
giving you a
other day.
message.
I went back and read my first book. I was reading a couple of pages and I was seeing to where I am at now. I'm like, wow, man, really came a long way. And just now I can write stories, different stories. Now I know how to publish my own books. Thank you,
Hmm.
Angela. I know how to do everything on my own. I don't need no publisher. And the hardest part is when you are trying to help somebody after they done got somebody to do their work and then they want you to come fix it, but they don't want to pay you to fix their work. You like,
Hmm.
man, but for me, it's not even about the money. Like, I help people and I be like, look, I'm gonna do this for you. And I already know, excuse me, I already know how much you're supposed to charge and all.
Bless
But
you,
for
brother.
me, it's like I enjoy doing what I do. That's me giving back sometimes, because not everybody got it. And in this today's society where people are selfish, I'm trying to be unselfish.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna take a break real quick, but you guys got some fans that's lighting up the side of this. Patrice is saying that she's scared to read the next one. Um,
Call
scaring people out there and whatnot. And then we got our producer who is saying that she says, "Love you, little brother." We got
Love you
Trinita.
too.
She's saying right. She's agreeing with you. Patrice is calling you a player. So see, I'm not the only one that noticed all of that. But we're gonna cut into this commercial right now, and we're gonna be right back with Dee Dee and with Hezekiah, and we're gonna continue this fun-filled conversation with these. I'm going to claim it award-winning authors, and if we are having technical difficulties with it, we're going to just keep it rolling because I know that Mr. Busy here, he has to go. He's just going to leave us. He's probably flying out on his private jet or something because I know that's coming. And just like I was telling Dee Dee, I'm just so proud of both of you. I want to shift us slightly because this is important. We hear the word healing a lot. What does that really mean for both of you on a day-to-day level? Dee Dee?
Woo, healing. Uh, it takes prayer. You got to pray on it. You got to ask God to do it because healing is not something that you can just do yourself. You've got to let the Father work on you, in you, through you, and it's a daily process. It's daily, so that's that's the way I feel about it.
Hezekiah?
Oh man, for me, whew, it takes some time because I don't know if you ever really truly heal. You just grow through it and you just go through it. You know what I mean?
Go
And
through the
Hmm.
emotions, yeah.
you just it's because I don't think you ever heal because it's still always going to be a part of you that's going to feel that pain. And it's some of the
Hmm.
things that I've been through as a child, and I can still deal with my family, and then I still revert back to where I went to that pain, and I have to tell myself like, don't set myself up to go through no more pain. Because we can sabotage our own healing by keep
Hmm.
allowing people to give us pain. If you already know what you see, what you're going to get from it, we're just setting ourselves up. I know I used to deal with a lot of, like we always talk about to these females. If you know you're going to get some pain, why you keep going back to it? So for me, the process of my healing is to just sometimes I have to just separate and just seclude myself, just be able to walk with me and God. Okay, God, what steps should I take? How should I move forward?
Right.
How should I be the best person that I can be? How can I not depend on that person or need that person if I know I'm going to still be going through pain? Or like when my grandmother passed, I still feel that pain, and I still hold
The pain is just
some
different
kind of.
every day with
Hmm.
people. The pain you went
Mhm.
through yesterday is going to be different than the pain that you're feeling today, and tomorrow is going to be different as well. How do
Mhm.
relationships, whether with others or yourself, shape the journey that you take when you write your books?
Mm. Mm. Wow. Wow.
I'm
um,
gonna let you get that with Dee
You
Dee.
know, coming on this show, you
yeah,
know,
I
on
was,
the show, I was going to take you there.
I
Did you
was
think that we
like,
was just
wait a
going to sit
minute.
here and we was going to talk about the birds and the
I was
bees?
like, oh, he can have that one. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta think. What? Okay, the question again. I'm sorry.
I asked, how do
Whoa.
how do relationships, whether with others or yourself, shape the
Mm.
journey you write about?
Well, I will say that it all depends on who you have in your corner. You got to make sure you have the right people in your corner that's going to support you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to be there for you. Now, I have
You
had
see, Hezekiah?
some interesting people to 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 be
Oh,
to be by my
see,
side, and it's definitely going in another direction that I didn't plan for it, but God saw it go the way it needed to go. So, but like I said, I had Tavita, I had my best friends, I had Latanya, so I had the support system I'm supposed to have. So God gives you who you're supposed to have relationship wise, regardless. Now, if you're talking about like Hezekiah with the women in the dating, I ain't dating. So I'm just getting out of a divorce, auntie. Okay.
hey, they make
See,
me
I'm
write
a,
all my
see
books.
now, Hezekiah, don't try to steal her
Look,
stuff
look, they
because
make me
nothing's
write
gonna
all
save you.
my
You
books.
already messed yourself up.
They my biggest
Hezekiah, I want to hear from you. How does that work for you? How do
man.
relationships, whether with others or yourself, shape the journey you write about?
They help me write all my books. soon as I meet one, they be like, "You gonna put me in that next book?"
See, that's why you stay in so much trouble all the time, Hezekiah. See, you know what? I just wish I was the gnat in the room to figure out how you're going to get out of it tonight. Because you know you're going to get into trouble. And whoever it is, look.
Watch
Don't
out.
write me. Don't write me. That's all him. That is all Hezekiah. We're having a powerful conversation tonight with two incredible authors. And what stands out is how both of their journeys, although different, reflect resilience, growth, and purpose. Who do you hope your books reach the most?
You can go first, sir.
He's still trying to figure out how he's going to save himself later on this evening.
I guess I gotta go there. Uh-oh.
Look, he got somebody saying he ain't never going to change, but you got to love him. You can't help but love him. And this is our producer saying that. You can't help but love him. We're going to have to, because he's going to be in a lot of trouble later. Yes, because he just popped offline. I don't know whether he was yanked offline or whether he's just offline. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to let him try to deal with that one on his own. If he comes back, then he survived. He's going to survive tonight. Yes, but yeah, answer that one.
I didn't know this was going to be this much fun. Okay. Wow. But okay, who do I want the books to reach? Mainly, I want the books to reach those who have been adopted, for one, those who want to adopt, who are looking to adopt, and most definitely those who want to adopt special needs children, because those are the ones that the doctors give the bad reports on. They're not going to be able to do nothing. They're not going to be able to be anything. So I want this to encourage parents that don't listen to the doctors. The doctors, yeah, they know what they know, but God knows what He knows. And so I want that to encourage them. And I just want it to encourage others in general, just to hold on to God, to let the love carry you. Let it carry you.
Yeah, I'm sitting there getting ready to crack up because he's back behind stage, so he's going to dig himself into it. So I'm quite sure he did his apologies and got off and said, "I'm sorry, baby, I didn't
even do that."
That's going to be on him. That's going to be on him. He can say, "Baby, I'm sorry, but this is just for the show." No, it ain't just for the show. That's the Hezekiah for you. So you're not going to use me to get out of your mess tonight, Hezekiah. You buried yourself into that one. You should have just said, "Look, I'm not even going to answer that. Next." You could have did that. It would have been okay. I wouldn't have said anything about it. I would have laughed behind your back, but that's fine. See, they just keep yanking them back and forth, and that's gonna be, look, Hezekiah. I feel for you. I feel for you. Let's take this a step further. What has been the most meaningful response you've received from a reader?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Look at this. Patrice is saying, wait a minute. Patrice is saying someone filed a missing person report. One of those ladies got to him. Yeah, they getting to him. That's sad.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He's saying they. He's saying they, so it's more than one.
That's more than one.
I'm trying to help you, but you keep digging yourself deeper in it. All you had to do is say, someone listening, but you're not even saying that. You're just making it worse for yourself.
Let me come in.
Hezekiah, I'm trying to help you, brother.
Oh, God.
They call you a knucklehead and everything else, because they know you're talking too much on here. You're talking entirely too much for me. Look.
Sometimes you gotta let them know what it is and what it ain't.
See, he's still going at it. Look, he must have some plans to be someplace else tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Because I got a feeling somebody's got. Now we don't promote violence on it, but Hezekiah, you got it coming.
We don't.
You got it coming, and I'm just gonna say is that you should have been fully warned before you got on here. You should have been fully warned. Besides the people that I'm thinking about, who do you hope your books reach the most tonight, Hezekiah?
For me, it's the young adults. It's like, it's trying to teach them a lesson. Try to get them going in the right direction and follow the directions that we are trying to lead them. And basically, my books, it's a good story. It takes you to a place where you're like, man, this thing it's nice, it's authentic, and it's always teaching you a lesson, and it's trying to bring you closer to God too at the same time. even though it's crazy as I don't know what. But you know, God likes crazy. He don't like everybody to be the same. He gets his word in
True.
there, any kind of way.
So for the both of you, how has becoming an author changed how you see your own story? See, you
We're
see,
gonna
it's
let him
that
go first.
laugh that you got
We're
that
gonna let
gets you into
Hezekiah
trouble,
go first
Hezekiah.
because he's about to get kicked off in a minute. We're gonna let him
I'm
go
telling
first.
you, he's always Travina's saying he's always doing something. See, these people know you, Hezekiah. That's
They know
sad.
you.
That don't make no sense.
And that's sad because I'm
Hezekiah,
just
how is
meeting you,
becoming an
sir.
author?
I don't even know you like that. And that's just sad.
See, look, it is. It's a shame. We laughing so hard at Hezekiah, we could barely get through the questions here. See, and it's not even about him trying to evade the responsibilities of trying to answer. It's just that he's trying to think of what am I going to say when this is over. I don't
Gotta
know
think
what
of
you're
a
going to
smart
say, brother.
response. A smart
I
response
don't
is
know
what
what
it's
you're
called,
going to
aren't
say. You better say something. Have some flowers, candy, something. As a matter of fact, you better have both hands full of flowers and candy and whatnot. Have them
Oh,
Oh,
delivered.
man.
wow.
Maybe that'd be easier. Because I'm
Hey,
gonna
I
tell
ain't
you, you
got to
better
do
hope
that
they
to
don't know
do
each other. Hezekiah, you gonna look. I feel for you, brother. I feel for you. It's
it.
nothing
You
else
know
that I
what's
can say.
crazy? Most of my books are my stories. So
He telling on himself. He telling on himself. I'm not gonna be
most
held
of my books
responsible.
are my stories. So it's like
But
I done live. I'm living what I'm telling you, and
Okay.
so
look, somebody had
it's
said
funny to
earlier.
me because you
Well,
know
I'm
it's
glad you
funny
thinking it's
because
funny because they're not thinking it's so funny. They're gonna be waiting for you. And you lucky this is not a studio that you're at.
Sis,
They
I'm
say
going to
Didi
pray.
pray.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Yeah,
going to pray for him. Don't you worry about it.
you're gonna need it. Patrice, please hurry and put that missing persons out because he's gonna come up missing. And y'all see him tonight,
but,
so you know what he got on. You
but
know what he
see,
got on and whatnot. So that's the start.
it was so
You know what?
funny.
Let me just take a
Y'all gotta listen
screenshot of
to the
this.
title for this book. Y'all gotta listen to, see, that's why author you got to use your creativity. Like when I'm writing a book, like say I was messing with somebody in Louisiana, so I named the book the Louisiana Purchase,
Oh, my goodness.
and that
Wow.
and so
I'm not.
you know, and I'm taking you through the story of me and her and how the stuff we did, but I just made it into a whole like gangster little story, and I've just changed a different thing, and it's so funny because that's exactly how it was.
You know what? I'm going to skip over Hezekiah right now, and I'm going to ask you this question, Didi, because I'm almost afraid of what he's going to say. What advice? Because I'm scared for him to give anybody advice right now. What advice would you give someone who feels their story isn't important enough to share? Because evidently he's just free willy. He does
He
not.
feels
He
it's
just
important to
goes
share.
for it.
He
He
feels it's
just
important to
goes
share.
for
He
it, and
got
he.
days to share with. My advice would
Hezekiah.
be my advice would be that everybody has a story to tell, and so you need to share because you don't know who it's going to bless.
Mhm.
And some stories shouldn't be told. Am I right,
Yeah,
Hezekiah?
yeah. Apparently not.
So,
Some of them
They
need to get
always should be
protection
told,
program.
no,
seriously, what
don't keep
advice
your
would you
secrets
give
buried.
someone,
Don't keep your
Hezekiah?
secrets buried.
What advice would I want to hear this from you? What advice would you
Uh-huh.
give to someone who feels as though that they're afraid that this story is not important enough to share?
Everybody's story is different. Everybody has a story to tell. And it's not how you tell it because my story may be different from your story.
Hmm.
But what we trying to tell you, like I get a lot of people that tell me, "Oh man, I want to write a book. I want to do this and I want to do that." I'm like, just write. It don't matter what order you put it in.
Hmm.
That's like I said. That's what they got editors for. You know what I
That
mean?
part.
Yeah, yeah,
And
That
just
part.
yeah.
like free yourself. You know, tell
Hmm.
your story. Your story might help somebody. We never know what whose story gonna help somebody. Everybody's story is different. You know, that's the one thing I think about God that He made everybody different. And one thing that we get it misconstrued sometimes, like everybody has to think alike. No, we don't have to think alike because God gave everybody a different mind to think of their own.
Hmm.
So
That's
everybody's
why we
story
call
is gonna be
individuals.
different. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's just why we call individuals. What do you want your stories to represent for future generations? Don't even answer it, Hezekiah. We skipping over you. Because we've got people that got kids out there, and these people trying to raise young men and young women, and then don't just Hezekiah, just sit there and just smile.
Like that.
Just sit
I
there
was
and
waiting for
smile,
that.
Dee Dee. I want you to act.
I was
I
waiting
don't want
for
him
it.
to answer it. I don't want him to answer it. I'm scared for him to answer it. I thought we
Yes,
was gonna go through
ma'am.
this. Don't answer it, Hezekiah. Dee Dee, please answer and represent both of y'all. What
Yes,
do you want
ma'am.
your story to represent for future generations? Because I ain't messing with him.
um. Uh, okay. I think I want everyone to be just
Enough of niggas
inspired to
speechless.
to trust God, to trust that the path that He has for you, it's not gonna always look like you think it's gonna look, but He definitely has a story for you, and He definitely has a plan for your life. So I just want people to be inspired to just believe in love again, believe in faith, believe that anything is possible.
See, you got even people in the audience. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dee Dee, just saying
See,
bring us
that's
back
what
to
I was gonna
Jesus.
say. See, that's what I was
Okay,
gonna
I'll
say.
take that. Yeah.
Believe in love
Okay.
again.
Okay. So can you expand? Can you, Hezekiah, since that's what you was going to say, can you expand on that a little bit more?
No, don't do that.
Now she brought Jesus into it, so I want you to expand on that part a little bit more. Save yourself. I'm giving you a chance. I want to hear from you. What are you expecting for the next generation, Hezekiah, to be able to represent for future generations?
Oh man, to,
Brother, can't even keep it together.
to be
Yes.
driven,
Yes.
determined. You know, never let nobody tell you that you can't. You know that you can't do this and you can't do that. You know, always believe in yourself.
Hmm.
Like Didi said, I always believe in love. Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter what that woman is. Hey, if you can talk, she'll talk. No,
I'm gonna give you
let's keep
a,
let's keep
here's a
let's keep
rapid
pursuing your
fire
dream.
question. Here's a rapid fire question for both of you, and I want a quick response from either one of you. Well, for both of you, what is a name a book that changed your life?
Mm.
See, he got to look up to God to ask him to help him with some words. What
Black
is a book
boy,
that
Richard
helped
Wright.
change?
Black
Oh,
boy,
okay.
Richard Wright.
Love that one. That's interesting. Why that
Oh.
book?
That was like I read that book when I was in fourth grade, and it changed. And I didn't really know about race and about being dark and the different races. How racial it was in America until I read that book. And it opened up my eyes. I was like, wow, I didn't know that we as men and as go through this. 'Cause I remember when I was little, I used to go to showbiz with a friend of mine all the time, and his daddy called my daddy a boy one day, and they never came to pick me up for showbiz again. But I was mad at my dad. Like, man, over a word, and I didn't know nothing about the definition of the word until I started reading that book, Black Boy. So it opened my eyes to a whole lot of stuff that was going on around it. Because as us as kids, we don't see we really don't see race. We get taught race, but
Hmm.
we don't see race. We don't see colors. We get taught that. And reading that book, it opened up my eyes, to a lot of stuff that I felt that I was growing up. I was starting to see take shape in my life as well. So that book right there,
Interesting.
it talked about how he became a young man going to a different city and learning and doing different things, and how he seen racism. So that's one of the book. I love that book right there. I actually want to read it
Dee
again
Dee,
now that I'm older.
yeah, you'll have probably a different perspective on it. Dee Dee, what book changed your life?
Well, there's been a couple of books, but I would have to say off the top of my head right now, the book called The King's Daughter by Diana Hagen is Don Hagen's wife, and it's a book, but it's also a workbook, and it's based upon the Book of Esther. And Book of
Okay.
Esther is my book because she was adopted. That's where I actually could see myself in the Bible. It was like, do they have any adoption stories in the Bible? And when I heard about her, she was definitely the woman that I looked up to in the Bible because she pushed
You
through.
said that you said it was a workbook. Did you actually do the work in the book as well?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That helped me to see. That helped
How
me
was
to see myself the way God does.
great, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
You both picked and chose wonderful books, and you can definitely see from those books that how it shaped both of you today. As we close tonight's episode of Basic Black After Dark, I want to thank our incredible guests, Dee Dee Scott and Hezekiah Morris, for sharing their journeys, their wisdom, and the inspiration behind their powerful books. To everyone listening tonight, remember your story has value, your voice has power, and sometimes the very chapter that you're struggling through today may be the testimony someone else needs tomorrow. And before we go, be sure to mark your calendars and tune in on April the 3rd at 8 p.m. right here on Basic Black After Dark when we welcome our next special guest, Shanita Dukes, for another engaging and powerful conversation right here. This is Black Diamond on Basic Black After Dark, and thanks for keeping it basic. Hezekiah, I'm going to pray for you.